here we are.
Shit.
So we saw Life Itself.
Oh boy, did we.
We were we were looking forward to this movie.
Okay.
Because it's purported to be the collateral beauty of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
We loved Collateral Beauty.
Boy,
So
did we.
We figured, well, we might as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we were so dumb. I was so glad we were the only people in the theater.
Thank God
And
we
it
were the
was
only
like-
ones in the theater.
It would have been a fucking rough sit if we weren't, because we were like yelling things at the screen. And just like cackling with laughter at points. And I would have felt bad if there was someone there to like watch it unironically.
I hope this gets nominated for Best Picture Oscar. So, you never got a trailer for this movie?
No.
Let me tell you something. The trailer is nothing like the bullshit we just sat through.
There's a voiceover by Samuel L. Jackson
No, there's
for no reason.
Oh, this is a brace yourself review because I am so glad we did this. Because this is a movie that within the first scene, you know this is going to be rough.
30 seconds in, Brad goes, "Oh, I do not like this."
No. What, we'll get into that bullshit. But then, like 30 seconds into this movie, you know that like this is one of those horrible roller coasters of a movie that you and I were like hand in hand in this. Like we got this. We are gonna make it through this shit. We are gonna come out on the other side a completely different person.
I don't know how I was expecting this movie to start, but like a close in on like some random dude with Samuel L. Jackson, like, here's this guy, let's check this guy out. He's like gay, but like a cool guy gay, and let's get tighter in on his face, and like he's a pretty heroic guy. Oh, now he's talking about fantasy football. Let's go over to this lady. Like on and on and on. It's like I was not expecting the movie to start like this, and yet I am also not surprised.
Okay, so when I got the trailer for this movie, which that bullshit's not in, neither is half of the insane shit that's in this movie.
What
the
trailer lead you to believe the plot was?
Well, not that it was necessarily different than what is really in it, but
like a bunch of interconnected stories about loss.
Yeah. The trailer just made it look like just a melodrama. Like I got it a couple of times and because of the cast of the movie and the fact it's released by Amazon Studios, I was like, oh, that might be all right. And Laura goes, that looks dumb. And I'm like, I should have listened. God damn it.
It came to pass.
I should have fucking listened. So no, it just made it look like just some like melodrama that at worst maybe it's just kind of lame. So then reviews of this.
Where'd the chat go?
Oh, you still there, chat? They all checked out.
So intense. There it is.
So, when Gino saw this movie and a few other people, like I saw calling it emotionally sadistic. I'm like, what is in this fucking movie? Like, I almost gotta know. And then 1 second into this movie, I was like, I get it now. I understand. I understand exactly what this movie is gonna be. This movie is, not only is this movie the kind of stuff you would have seen in the 90s, post Pulp Fiction, where you had every person like this trying to write a too hip and cool and clever movie for their own good and just chucked out in theaters. Not only is this a movie like that, but it's got 2 references to Pulp Fiction in the movie.
3?
Them dressed up as Vincent and Mia.
Yeah.
Watching Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, watching Pulp Fiction, talking about wanting to be a husband and wife Tarantino team. And then, again, I kind of counted the Samuel L. Jackson voiceover and cameo for no reason other than because Pulp Fiction. But like it's just this movie was like Collateral Beauty, but not in the way that I was expecting, because it did have like death in it, but it was more so like the pretentious bullshit intertwining quasi-spiritual bullshit that was kind of like woven in between the stories of loss. Because like the Collateral Beauty had like the whole like, I'm death, I'm love, I'm courage, or whatever the shit.
Courage, yeah.
And in this movie it had like this weird sort of like what was it? Unreliable narrator. like, but the true unreliable narrator is life itself, and then like so it's got these like disparate stories, and they just fucking mush them together at the end for no reason other than to be like, oh, life itself.
Man, so the way that the movie starts is that it like you said, it's showing a close-up of some guy who's not in the movie anymore afterwards. And the Samuel Jackson, the narrator, is going like, interior stage. We start out on a shot of this guy. He's gay,
China.
like cool, like Billy on the Street gay. And then it gets into like, this is from a screenplay Oscar Isaac is writing, and he's in a Starbucks. This movie is one of the most pretentious things I've ever fucking seen in my life. This movie is like if you took the most pretentious screenplay ever written in a Starbucks
And then fucking made a movie.
And made a movie with not one, not two, not three, but 18 million monologues about Bob Dylan in the movie. Right down to naming a character in the movie, Dylan, in which he has a Bob Dylan tribute band.
Yeah, PB&J.
Oh, I love this.
That wasn't a Bob Dylan tribute band. That was a tribute to the sandwich her mother's mother was eating when she met the father of her child for the first time.
And then, yeah, like, so there's like, at this like underground rock show where they're performing this, the band, the PB&Js, and they have a plate of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches
it's like
there.
their merch table is just covered in sandwiches.
Like, I'm picturing in my head, like, really, when the Beatles started out, did you just have a bowl of bugs sitting around, like, for no reason?
For sure.
You know what? Maybe they did. It was a different time back then.
But it's like that pretend, like screenwriting bullshit, but also that, like, actor bullshit that Collateral Beauty played.
Yeah.
Where, like, characters are crazy, but not, like, in a realistic way, but, like, in a screaming at your imaginary friend on the subway who turns out to be like the avatar of love, or like just pitching a fit in a Starbucks, not in like a normal crazy person way, but in like an Oscar Isaac's got a scene to do.
Yeah, in a movie kind of way, where he says he'll be having a freak out, and he's like, "What do you mean you don't know Natalie Portman? I'm going to show you Leon the Professional and Beautiful Girls." Like, fuck off, man. Like,
you know, I'm just playing, right? Because I'm married to my wife who's totally still alive.
It does a thing you'd see like in the like 90s like stupid indie movie thing, like movies like this, like where it would be like an indie 90s like sort of romance thing, like trying to be like 70s Woody Allen. So it would have scenes where Oscar Isaac is in therapy with Annette Bening, and then
he's like tomato potato, and she's like tomato tomato. He's like, let's call the whole thing up. She's like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Unfortunately, I did. And so like he'll be flashing back to when he meets his wife Olivia Wilde, but he and like older Oscar Isaac and Annette Bening will like be there in the scene, like refer. Look, there's me over there.
Look how young I am. And she's like, what? I think you look the same.
She's a fucking ghost of Christmas past. Like, what's going on with this movie? Yeah, this fucking movie. And so the movie is told in chapters, and at the beginning of it, when you see
25 chapters.
You see Annette Bening get hit by a bus, and then Samuel Jackson just literally comes into the scene and goes, "Oh shit, didn't expect that! I'm out!" And then he is not seen in the movie again after that. Clever movie. And so Oscar Isaac is talking to Annette Bening, who's his therapist, and he keeps talking about how his wife Olivia Wilde has left him, but as if
she did.
Yeah, and as if you wouldn't already predict, oh, she's probably dead.
Yeah, they've mentioned an unreliable narrator like 5 times at that point, and it's 5 minutes in.
The movie stops dead so that Olivia Wilde can come into the scene and tell Oscar Isaac that her college thesis is on the unreliable narrator, and then she just explains what the unreliable narrator is.
In like a super pretentious way where you get the impression the person who wrote this movie had this like genius thought about the unreliable narrator being life itself, and thought, you know what, I can make a movie out of this, and I'm going to give someone the entirety of the speech I just gave my roommate.
I know. It is that kind of movie. It's that kind of movie that just feels like it is written with a feather pen dipped in a Starbucks coffee cup. Like,
this is delicious.
Yeah, like you can just feel him just picturing Oscar in his head.
No, with a typewriter. he brought in a briefcase.
Oh, listening to like a turntable that he's brought
he's
with
got,
him.
like, another
Nothing
table
but
with a
Dylan.
turntable. Yeah.
Like nothing but Bob Dylan just
Brought, like,
sitting
his
there
whole milk
next to
crate
him.
full of records.
The
You
movie.
guys really gotta give this one a chance, man. It was Dylan's comeback.
Would you believe this is the second movie like this year that I've seen?
What was the other one?
Laura and I went to go see a movie earlier this year called Like Arrows that was co-written by the dudes who wrote War Room. And
Is God like arrows somehow?
Yeah, I can't remember, but like it was one of those like one day only screenings. But just imagine this if it was written by the War Room guy. Like so, like it was much more religious, of course, but it's like this where it spans over like 50 years, and it's just different families and what they're dealing with. Only in the fucking movie Laura and I went to go see, it was, oh shit, I found an atheist book in my son's car. Oh my god, college is gonna ruin him. And then they don't speak for like 30 years.
Fucking good. You can disown your son over a book. He doesn't need you in his life.
Yeah. This movie is really all kinds of bad because there are moments like with the stupid Dylan bullshit and all the like screenwriting pretentious first year screenwriting student crap that's in this film. So it does cross over into funny bad quite a few times, but it also gets into boring bad. Yeah. Like when it gets into the second half of this movie,
it's like these two characters having like this chat over glasses of whatever the hell Spanish liquor.
Antonio Banderas, yeah.
And he, like the whole time you're like, is he gonna murder him? Are they gonna like make out at the end? What's going on? No, they just decide not to be friends.
Man, so Antonio. The way that this movie is all told in chapters, because of course it fucking is. It's all told in chapters.
Which started to be in a book, but we'll get to that.
And so, like, it's Oscar Isaac talking about how Olivia Wilde is his dead wife. They have a daughter. She grows up to live with his parents, who's Mandy Patinkin. She's named Dylan.
That was the only time this movie got me like a little tear.
Mandy Patinkin's a fucking brilliant
Mandy Patinkin
actor.
is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
And it's like, cause like, the bus hits the mom, the dad shoots himself in the head, but the baby manages to survive, even though she was like in the womb when the bus hit the mom. And so she goes to live with the grandparents, Mandy Patinkin and
Gene Smart.
Yeah, but then the grandma dies, and then so does the dog, Fuckface.
Yeah. She's not making a
the
joke.
dog's name is Fuckface.
Because of course the couple that waxes poetic about Dylan every morning has a dog who's literally named Fuckface.
Yeah, they've got it on its collar. Whatever. These are adults. Whatever.
Are they? Are they really?
Adults. You can call your dog Fuckface, but put like Benjamin on the collar or some shit. So like if a 7-year-old finds it. Whatever. So Mandy Patinkin's like the little girl sitting on the bed, and like they have this sort of like this is what she said, but this is what she would say if she wasn't fucking 8. Where she's like, my life is surrounded with death, and are you gonna die? And what he would say, he wasn't talking to an 8-year-old. His was basically, yeah, I'm probably gonna die sooner than you'd like, but I'm gonna try real hard not to because I'm like the only person you have left, and I don't want to give you that body blow. I was like, Nerp.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like fucking House with the Clock in its walls made me cry more than this movie did. Off of a look Kate Blanchett did in the background.
Yeah.
Like past that like I laughed.
That movie earned that shit.
It did. It earned that shit. This movie didn't earn anything except for one tear because Mandy Patinkin is a goddamn national treasure.
Yeah, no, I that scene was slightly moving. It still had pretentious bullshit in it.
Yeah.
With again like the 8-year-old waxing philosophical about death, and then the narrator going, but here's what she actually said.
Are you gonna die, Grandpa?
Yeah, I like ice cream. Like, stop it, movie. And so it still had crap in it, but hey, Mandy Patinkin was still there, so right on. and then it gets into the story about the little kid who was on the bus that killed Olivia Wilde, and it is this long monologue that Antonio Banderas has, who runs an olive farm. He goes into this long monologue about his mom, and then pauses and goes, now about my father, and I in the theater, I'm just like, fuck! and that goes on for another 12 hours.
Chapter 18, this douchebag's father.
And that, I was like, he better just shoot him by the end of this scene. Like,
When we ended up following that kid, the kid that was in the window of that bus, I started having this feeling of dread, like he's gonna end up being with the daughter of the woman he basically killed by distracting the bus driver, isn't he? Because we were basically like passing theories back and forth loudly.
And we were always right.
We were always right.
Even
the part where we disagreed, we were both fucking right.
Yes.
I was like, I think he's gonna try to steal the wife, and you were like,
I said that kid is gonna be on the bus and he's gonna distract the driver, and that's what kills Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, and both those things happened. Like,
yes.
This movie was talking about how unpredictable life itself was, while also being the most predictable piece of shit I've seen in a while.
Thank you. Like, for as insane as we're describing this movie, it's wildly predictable. Yeah. You can tell everything that's gonna happen in this movie. At least a movie like, at least an insane movie like Winter's Tale. Not fucking predictable.
When that horse shows up, I was like, called it.
Yeah, called it. The horse is gonna fly away.
That horse is going to be an Inuit spirit.
I called this shit. Russell Crowe's gonna turn into a snowman by the end of it. No, this
also,
movie.
Will Smith is the devil.
That was
we just watch that movie.
We really do.
It's not as good a party movie as we always think it's gonna be because it's like 5 hours long, but it's still worth watching.
Oh, but we're enjoying ourselves. Like, fucking yeah, because we had 2 theories in this movie, and then once Antonio Banderas starts hitting on the dude's wife, I go, fuck, we're both right. Like, and that wasn't me doing the thing of like, well, I'm gonna be in denial about being wrong. So I'm gonna say, look, we're both right.
Tomato, potato.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I was like, no, both of these things are gonna happen. Yeah. And they fucking did.
And then she died of cancer because whatever, this movie.
Here's the weird thing about this movie, too, is, like, these actors are trying. They really fucking are through all this bullshit. The movie keeps being
like Anne Hathaway singing when she's dying in Les Mis levels of close to their fucking faces. Like, there was a scene where, like, Cancer Mom is, like, giving a long goodbye speech to her son, and the camera's like so close. I was trying to like make out what the reflection in her eyes was a reflection of, and we figured out she's wearing contact lenses. That's how close to this poor woman's face we were. Yeah, and she was emoting the shit out of it.
No,
but
she is.
I still didn't care.
It made me feel bad for the actress, honestly, because she was really good. Yeah. And like a lot of these actors, this movie is full of great actors. Oscar Isaac is in this. Antonio Banderas, Mandy Patinkin. But I feel bad for all of them in this movie because they're trying. Yeah. They're really like trying to sell this shit.
I even felt sorry for that schmo at the beginning, the gay fantasy football guy. Because again, Samuel L. Jackson made them get real tight into his face, and that guy wasn't supposed to be doing anything. So you could kind of see in the corner of his mouth where he's like doing that sort of uncomfortable, trying not to smile thing. I doubt that was in the script.
God, I even called that like at the beginning in like Oscar Isaac's screenplay when like Fantasy Annette Bening gets hit by the bus. It goes like 10 minutes later. I'm like, Olivia Wilde's gonna get hit by the bus. That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. You know what? There is another similar thing about this movie that it was the same way in that Like Arrows movie I saw. This movie, like the other one, spans over 40, 50 years, but always looks like it's just 2018. Like there's not like maybe except for
in 1985 when the woman's eating the PB&J sandwich, she's got like a 1985 hairstyle.
Yeah.
Past that, this all could have taken place within like minutes of each other.
Yeah. Even like it's like okay, I guess Oscar Isaac and Olivia Wilde are meeting at a 90s party, but I was confused. I was like, is this the 90s or are they just having a 90s party? And I think they were just having
a 90s party.
Yeah.
Because I think that when she died, it was supposed to be the present day.
Yeah.
And then when their grown-ass child was like talking to Mandy Patinkin about cigarettes, and he mentioned like, oh, Vermont made those illegal just a couple weeks ago. I think that was supposed to be like the future, you know.
Yeah, speaking of the cigarettes, it has the narrator come in too and say like, check out this character smoking. You don't see that a lot in movies anymore.
Not since the 90s, which this movie firmly has its tongue up the butthole of.
Oh boy, does it in the wrong part of the 90s too.
Which was the good part of the 90s?
Encino Man.
No! Like George of the Jungle, and that's it.
George of the Jungle.
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the shitty-ass fucking olive picker husband?
Yeah.
No, wait, I didn't mean that to sound like a racial slur. He literally is.
He was a shitty fuck of a man. So when Antonio Banderas is telling the story about his father, he's talking about how his father was a fuck of a man, and the biggest fuck of a man turned out to be the guy he was talking to.
Yeah.
And, like the movie was trying to say something about like heroes and villains,
But it just explains to us what's gonna happen.
like the speech that fucking Arlo gives in Zero Effect about how it's not good guys and evil guys, it's just a bunch of guys. But this movie did not communicate that idea as clearly as Arlo did in Zero Effect. And so like at the beginning, Antonio Banderas is having this conversation with this guy, and Antonio Banderas is coming off as kind of a sleazeball, and this guy was all like being like the pinnacle of lawful good, like, oh, I wouldn't have taken the money, and I will protect your olives, and I pick them by hand because the rake bruises them, and I want to do things the correct way. And then, like, it all falls apart because he marries and has a son, and then, like, Antonio Banderas comes and visits and gives the son, like, a bird, and the guy's like, you have my family now, goodbye forever. Drink, 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 drink.
That's ridiculous. And then when the wife is dying,
he comes back and she's happy to see him. I would have fucking shot him in the face. Like, oh look, it's that guy who decided that we were just like something to be handed to a better man than him.
What is
like,
this?
You'll take better care of my watch than I will, so it is your watch now.
The watch is up my ass.
Actual person, and then also another actual person.
Like, this is the dumbest love triangle that I've seen in a long fucking time. Because she says to Antonio...
She's like holding both of their hands. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, she says to Antonio Banderas, like, when the husband leaves, she says to him, like, I'll never love you as much. Like, why do you have to be with either one of them? Yeah. I mean, like, Antonio Banderas was really charming.
He did buy the kid a bird.
You know, he's a much better father than the guy who left.
No, but I'm just saying, it's not a one or the other situation.
No, yeah.
So fucking cheap. So yeah, the guy comes back and she's all like, I'm so happy to see you. It's almost as if you didn't abandon your fucking family out of some sense of toxic machismo. And he's all like, I brought you a flower like that one time I brought you a flower. She's like, all is forgiven.
Just smashes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his face. I wish. Oh, that happens in the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was going to lead to something, but boy, it sure didn't.
Oh, I gave up on this movie leading anywhere.
The daughter was making out with some dude on the floor, and some bitch was like filming her, like, this is hilarious. A couple making out at a rock show. And the girl like stood up, grabs her phone, throws it to the ground, and steps on it. As well she should. You shouldn't be filming people. And the girl's like, you owe me a new phone, bitch. And so she's like, grabs one of the 5 billion sandwiches and mushes it in her face and punches her. So you think, oh, okay, this girl's going to come back and like murder her, you know, because, you know, no one gets to live in this movie. But no, just that was the end of that story.
Just like Dylan.
Just to show how crazy Dylan is.
Oh, this movie does that shit a lot, where it's like, as Bob Dylan once said, like, you expected like Antonio Banderas is gonna give a speech and go, as Bob Dylan once said, lay lady lay across my big brass bed. What? This is the most pretentious movie I've seen since the Bob Dylan movie Masked and Anonymous, which was practically a whole movie made out of fortune cookie sayings.
Oh God.
Oh, try watching that shit.
I feel like Dave tried to make me watch the one where Bob Dylan was played by several different people.
I've actually heard that one's not that bad.
He really liked it. I got a little bored, but I know jack shit about Bob Dylan, and I don't really enjoy his music, so I wasn't invested, you know. But it would it seemed to be handling the pretentiousness well.
Sure, yeah.
Whereas your fortune cookie movie, perhaps less so.
It really didn't. No, that one was a rough set. I think when the kid who caused the bus accident that killed the mom grew up to then be with and marry the daughter, the unborn child who Olivia Wilde was carrying, and you're sitting there going like, when did the conversation come up that he killed her fucking mom?
Yeah, I feel like that's a deal breaker dating wise.
I leaned over to you. That's when I leaned over to you and was like, so is this making your bottom 10? Like I waited an hour and 45 minutes into this movie.
Unless some real shit movies come out in the next 3 months, I think that it's probably going to be down there.
I have seen a lot of bullshit this year.
Just going to make your bottom 10?
Yeah, most likely. Because this, I mean, Collateral Beauty made my bottom 10 the year that came out. I've seen a lot of shit this year between Show Dogs and Death of a Nation and God Bless the Broken Road that Dave and I were at a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, this movie is that sweet spot of bad where it's like you have to see this shit to know how fucking bad this is.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this movie, watch it either in an empty movie theater or in your house so that you can yell things at the screen and cackle with laughter when Samuel L. Jackson starts giving fucking stage directions.
But it's gonna be one of those movies that for about the first half you'll sit there like, oh my god, this is jaw-droppingly just like entertainingly bad. You don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then like everything else in this movie, just the entertainment characters and the entertainment value die in this film.
Yeah.
Like so halfway through it is just bullshit monologue after monologue after monologue. And
they're trying to just like put a bow on it, but it's just like a pile of 20 bows, not actually tying anything up, just kind of sitting on the pile that they just made.
The movie comes back, like this movie ends. Like it ends by just like she gives a speech about the book she's
turns
writing.
Out it's the daughter of the kid on the bus, and not Olivia Wilde's daughter. They get together and have a kid, and that kid writes a book. And I guess that he must have come clean about murdering her parents, basically, because the daughter knew about it all to write in the book about it.
Do you remember that movie we went to go see where it turned out the dog was narrating the whole thing?
Oh God!
What was that? It was like one of those family.
What was it?
There was one of those family
Christmas
dysfunctional family Christmas, like Meet the Joneses or whatever their name
the
was.
Robinsons?
No, that's the
CGI
animated one. Chat will know. Love the Coopers.
Love the Coopers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Love the Coopers. Like, yeah.
Chat will know. Help us, chat.
Like, cause there's a dog at the end of the movie. Cause I was sitting there like, oh man, I hope we know the backstory now with the dog.
His name is Fuckface 2.
Right? Yeah. Oh,
the fucking
the dog version of this movie. So the movie just it does end, and then it cuts to black. And we're like, oh, thank God. And then it comes back, and I go, fuck! And then
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac and Olivia Wilde are there. She's pregnant.
Reprisal of like the fakest fucking pregnancy belly I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Yeah.
And he just looks at her and he says, God damn it.
And then it ends. I'm like, oh, thanks, movie. Thanks for that little putter that you just had right there at the end.
God damn it, indeed.
This movie went out with a silent cough. It's just a terrible movie. This is, oh God. Like if you really want to see what every person just with a smelly beard is writing in a Starbucks, what every movie is, go see this movie. And that's it.
Just don't even worry about it.
This is why I write my screenplays at a Panera Bread.
So we shoot all your movies at a Panera Bread. Just like sneak up and do it on the...
That's right, we did shoot a scene for Hooker there. Just outside. No one will
like,
body us out here.
Sneak. Quick.
Quick, let's do this shit.
Hey, God, I'll go inside and buy a sandwich for you to eat while we do this.
That was the first scene we shot for that movie, too.
It was so cold, and I was wearing so little clothing.
Don't worry, it all worked out because when we were supposed to shoot like the last batch of seeds, I got food poisoning and we had to postpone it. Damn you,
was
Mr.
Was it Mr. Egg Roll again?
Yeah,
what did you say?
It was Mr. Egg Roll.
That place shut down. Finally.
I know. I'm sad. That was a tradition of food poisoning.
Okay, that was from last night.
Yeah.
So Suspiria.
Yeah, that movie looks fucking good. And I love the original.
It's like a hook putt. Like,
I can't remember.
'Cause I know I've seen the original, but it was like a long time ago, and it was in my living room, which means that I could like do 5 other things while I was watching it. I don't remember there being a hook. I mostly remember there being ballerinas and horror.
I'm hearing good things about this so far, and I'm really looking forward to this. This looks like a remake that might be really, really fucking good.
Yeah, and then Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, there was a new trailer for that.
I was excited about it, but then David was telling me that the reason, because he said that Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to be playing Freddie Mercury, but then they weren't gonna show the fact that he's gay, and so Sacha Baron Cohen dropped out. And Mr. Robot joined up. Except in the preview, there's like scenes with him giving like meaningful hugs and hand touches to like dude type people. So I don't know if maybe they changed that.
No, when Sacha Baron Cohen dropped out of it, it was a different script than the one that they settled on for this. When Sacha Baron Cohen dropped out in that script, I want to say like Freddie Mercury died halfway into the movie or something like that, and it sounded pretty bad. But that's not what they filmed for this movie.
Okay.
So this movie, yeah, I mean, he has a line in the trailer that's like something about, what does he say?
He talks about it like there's only room for one hysterical queen.
Yeah.
But that's not the same as, and also I'm gay and this is my boyfriend and we kiss each other and then get AIDS.
It also shows that in the trailer, too.
Yeah.
Right. It also shows that in the back
It shows
scene
that
of the car.
exact scene in the trailer, talking about getting AIDS from...
Yeah. I'm sure it's in the movie.
I hope so, because if it's not, I'm gonna be really upset. But I do want to see that, and I think Mr. Robot's doing a good job from what I can see in the trailer.
No, yeah, he looks fine.
Robin Hood.
That was a way better trailer than the first trailer, I thought, for that movie. The first trailer, you might have, I think we talked about it before. Like the first trailer made it look like that shitty King Arthur movie I went to go see last year or whenever. This trailer looked a little more entertaining.
I like that guy.
Yeah, Taron Egerton, yeah.
Reward butt sex notwithstanding.
I hope that, see the real story of Robin Hood.
He did a one scene in one movie that was terrible. And past that, he's fine. I like my one quibble with this movie is that I can't tell what they're going for stylistically. Because some scenes it seems like they're going for a sort of realistic costume and setting sort of feel, but then in other scenes it feels like they're going for like a Knight's Tale sort of like garb, okay, but actually like a suit, a sharkskin suit and like a knit shirt for when I'm practicing bows and arrows. And I feel like with that sort of thing, you either go one way or the other. I'm gonna get annoyed with you.
Yeah, the movie looks like the tone of it will be really kind of like tongue in cheek, like
which I can get behind.
No, yeah, I mean it does look really, really jokey. It looks better than the first trailer that come out, but it does look like it might be a better like King Arthur, like the Guy Ritchie one from a year or so ago. I don't know. It could turn out shitty, but that was a better trailer than the other one I saw.
Excuse me.
It's just gotta have Alan Adale the Rooster in it. Please.
Or Shannon Sossaman.
From A Knight's Tale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was it that played Canterbury Tale?
In what, Knight's Tale?
Yeah, it's the raggedy end of a reference. The best part of The Knight's Tale, the guy with no pants, he should be in it. The girl with the spider's web.
That was a different trailer for that one too.
Yeah, I liked the other trailer I saw before better because it was mostly just that scene of her trussing up that guy who beat his wife and then shocking him and the wife coming out and being about to call the police, but then Solander's like, oh, I'm going to transfer all your money to your wife. And the wife's like, I'm listening.
Yeah.
This seemed more like Dexter Darkly Dreaming with like the sort of like in the first season of in the first season of Dexter, does it turn out that the villain is like his evil identical twin?
Spoiler chat. Yeah.
I think we're allowed to spoil the first season of Dexter. That's how it is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this preview was giving me chills of, because it's like she's got like an evil identical-ish twin who's setting her up for
I think the movie is going to be a better version of The Snowman.
I mean, it'd have to be a better version.
But it won't be as hilarious.
It doesn't star someone named Harry Hole.
Yeah. Oh, please.
We forgot to mention that for the entirety of the Snowman movie.
Did we really?
Yeah.
We didn't mention his name was Harry
It's
Hole?
a testament to how weird and batshit that movie was.
Yeah, that we
the main character's name was Harry Hole. We just forgot to mention it.
Yeah, that he had a gay porn star name in the movie. that slipped fucking by us.
First Man.
Oh, that
Yeah, you
looks
went to
really
the bathroom
good.
for that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've gotten the trailer before.
This trailer made it look like a horror movie, which it's not.
It's gonna be really scary.
They get back from space. I've done the research.
Yeah. No, it looks intense though. Like it looks like it'll be cool to see on IMAX. I mean, those scenes that it shows in the trailer, them blasting off in space and everything, like it does look scary. Like it really does. Like it looks like it'll be a cool movie to see like in a D-box theater where like the seats are rocking and shit. No, I'm looking forward to that.
Do you like smell-o-vision or like a scratch?
Yeah.
It smells like space.
Smells like Tang.
It smells like duct tape. Smells like Claire Foy's anger. A Star is Born. I like this trailer.
Yeah,
the
me
other
too.
trailers, like I was kind of iffy on Lady Gaga's acting, but then first of all, the movie's getting like glowing reviews.
Oh, it's supposed to be awesome.
And they're saying that she's doing a really good job, and I think that it's more apparent in this trailer because they actually show an entire scene between her and Bradley Cooper. Where,
Their chemistry is insane.
phenomenal.
Holy shit.
Pets her on the nose. And
Yeah.
it's like, ooh.
I know, like, I'm like, I can, you know what, like, that is, like, one of the movies I'm really looking forward to the most, honestly, like, of everything coming
Next
out.
week, baby!
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm so excited for that movie.
I'm excited for the goddamn soundtrack to come out. I keep
Yeah.
checking Spotify. It's just some playlist somebody made with like Lady Gaga and Barbara Streisand songs on it. It's like,
Oh, right
I want the
on.
one she's like, whoa.
Yeah, that it plays in the first trailer.
Yeah. Deep End or whatever it's called. Beautiful.
What?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
on the deep end, watch as I dive in.
Beautiful Boy. That was the Steve Carell one.
Yes. Isn't that Holly Flax
Thank
playing
you.
his ex-wife? It's
Yes.
Like, so it's a sequel, I guess.
So and she's married to and now he's married to Maura Tierney,
Yeah.
who was Robert California's wife.
Yes.
Like this is
it's all coming around, baby.
a dark chapter in the Office universe.
So they have a baby, and his name is Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
He becomes, I guess, either a drunk or a drug addict, and they're like, "We love you, get better." He's like, "I'll try," and that's like the entirety of the movie.
It's gonna have acting. In
Yeah,
it.
like
it is
capital
like,
A acting.
Oh yeah. I mean, it looks like it'll probably be fine. Like,
Yeah, I'm probably not
considering
gonna watch it. This looks like a bummer.
considering what we just sat through, it's like I'm sure Beautiful Boy will be fine. I can't imagine the insane shit from life itself happening in
The
that
Beautiful
film.
Boy trailer made me cry more than life itself did.
Yeah. Oh, and not me. It was tears of laughter. So, I'm so glad we went to go see this movie.
I'm just glad it's over with.
Oh yeah, when that movie fucking ended, we were gone, man. We were like, we did it. It's over. It's done. We can leave now. Yes. And then fucking there were lights out in the theater. Like, how long was this goddamn movie?
Check your clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh shit, God, this movie was fucking long. Why isn't there an intermission in that? How did I only have to go to the bathroom once?
Because the unreliable narrator said that it was only an hour and a half.
Fucking lying ass narrator. Aren't we all the unreliable narrator?
Life
They
itself,
say
the
that shit in the
unreliable
movie.
narrator.
All right. Well, that's. So, long story short, Gino was right about this movie.
Yep,
All right.
the end.
The end. Later, guys.
Bye. Life of Pi itself.